Thank you for joining. Thank all of you for being here with me. We are going to discuss about something very practical that you are going to use in your everyday life. For those of you who are here with me for the first time, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Nanci Trivellato. And what we are going to do today is to discuss about subtle energy, which is related to every psychic perception, intuition, sixth sense, healing, telepathy, capacity to have conscious out of body experience. It is related with the sleep paralysis. It's related with our sensing of the energies around, perceiving our chakras, which are the energy centers of our energy body. So I want to give you information that you can use in your everyday life, as I said. So thank you for joining. And to those of you who are here with me and have been with me for some time, thank you so much for connecting. Can you hear me well? I'd like to know if you can hear me because sometimes my audio does not work well. And if it doesn't, I need you to tell me. Hi, Jean-Marc. Hello, John, Lisa. Very nice to see you guys. Michelle, Renee, all of you. Thank you. Nicole, nice to see you here as well. Loki, everyone. Very nice, guys. And what I want to mention to you to start with in relation to energy control, mastering energy, is that there are some common misconceptions in relation to what controlling energy is. Because when we speak about all of our capacities in terms of our energy body, so let's think of the energy body. The energy body has two major categories of perceptions, manifestations, abilities, and attributes that it manifests and uses. But amongst all of these two major categories from which all of the other different phenomena and perceptions derive from are two. One is sensing energy. Sensing energy is one thing, completely separate from controlling, being able to master energy. Ideally, what we would like is to have both. Of course, that is what you would like and I would like as well. When we talk about sensing energy, just a quick parenthesis here, because our discussion today is about mastering energy. When we talk about sensing energy, what I'd like to say is that most people are more sensitive than they think. And the difficulty for most people is not in sensing energy. It's rather on how to interpret what is an energy sensation, how to recognize, how to identify, how to create room, and the room in our brain or in your brain in the proper engrams so that we can translate the energetic sensation or some stimuli that's happening in the energy body here into our physical brain so that it can become conscious. So for you, what I would like to say is that I have already trained some people who were very bad in sensing energy according to them. They couldn't distinguish what was going on around them energetically. And with training, they became so good. There was once a long course, like this energy force field boot camp, in which I was following people for many months, and some who knew nothing about energetic perceptions, according to them, with a little training to prepare the brain to transcode what is an energy perception into words that we can use here in our regular life, in our common dictionary. They became the best of the group. So this does not worry me much because that is much easier. That is not so important if you have a sense of what's going on. Because it may be the case that you do not sense clearly a perception, but you know, this isn't good, this is not good. I feel there's something here for me. I don't trust that person.
And it's correct. It's not just you being picky on the person. There is a real perception there. When this is the case, all you need is to train how your brain transcribes, how your brain interprets, translate the energy perception. But as I was saying, when we talk about energy mastery, that is different. Because most of the things that happen in your energy happens because it's spontaneous, it's unconscious, it's the reaction that you are not aware of the reaction, and you are not aware of what is going on. By the way, let me mention something. I have just created a brand new course about energy mastery. I have also launched a brand new course that many people were waiting for a long time that is called Kundalini, which is sexual energy. And how does it work in our energy body, in our relationships, in our minds, in all of our perceptions, energetic perceptions. So these are two new courses available. Plus Velo, which is the energy technique that I think it's very effective. So that's why I focus so much on this energy technique, but we'll discuss several here today. And also you have the consciousness development program. So two are brand new courses. The other ones, Velo and the consciousness development program, they were already available. So the two new courses are Kundalini, energies of the root chakra, and energy mastery, which is the logics behind the mechanics of energy techniques. All energy techniques follow the same logics, which is what I am here conveying to you. So going back to the point exactly where I was. So your energy body has some natural movements, natural activity. You cannot stop it. You never stop the activity of your energy body, ever. It's like saying your cells are in constant activities, the cells of your physical body. Doesn't matter if you are conscious of it or not. Your immune system is in constant activity. It doesn't matter if you are aware of it or not. Could we have greater control of our physical body? That would be great. However, at this point, what we know, yes, it's possible to have a great control of is energy body. So you can master your energy body. You can control it, absolutely. But controlling your energy body requires that you are aware of how your energy operates. But once you are, you will be able to perform with your energy body in whichever ways you want.
Your energy body, therefore, has some natural activities, which is what allows you to control your energy. The problem that we have is that, number one, energy perception is not very clear to all of us, but even to those of us in which we could say energy perception is clear. I say could because it's the reference of the individual. So if it's you saying and it's your reference, how do you know how others sense? When you have an external reference to measure your sensitivity and what you can do with your energy, that helps a lot. But from the many hundreds of cases in which I examined and analyzed their results in terms of energy, what I can tell you is that for most people, the situation that they face with their energy body is such that the level of permeability of the energy interferes with their control. And by being so, they do not know what's going on in their energy body. So in your case, please let's bring this to the case of each of us. Your energies are flowing, it's flexible. But because of these external energies penetrate you, and you may have situations in which also your energy is being drained, is being used, almost like sucked out of you. When I explain this, most people will think, oh, so it's an entity. Not necessarily. It may be a place where you go in which the energy of that environment is in such chaos and entropy that it takes energy out of the living systems who are there. So you being there, you will sense and notice that your energy is being more and more taken from you. So far, so good. I'm just seeing here if you are good in terms of audio and video. I see some questions. When you have a question, any of you, please write question in the beginning of your comment so that I can go back later. I will answer your questions, okay? But I want to make this introduction so that questions will not make me go back to what I have already explained. Therefore, guys, losing energy or transferring energy, donating energies, doing a healing, all of this is based on your energy flowing out. See, this is natural. Somebody thinks of you. You will sense it. You will know. You will start thinking very often of that person for no reason. Yes, there is a reason. A lot of energy from that person is coming towards you. In this case, therefore, we know that what's going on, you receiving a flow of energy, is based on this natural movement of your energy. But on the same token, what is going to happen is that when you get energy, so you are giving, you are getting energy, what type of energy you are getting? And sometimes we have intrusions, we have blocked chakras in many different situations because of this energy flow. The point is, then you want to cleanse your chakra. You want to adjust your energy. You want to be able to cleanse the environment around of you, to focus your energy on something that is important to you. It's your goal, and you want to use your energetic capacity to boost your chances of getting what you want. When you do that, if you do not know how to employ your energy, techniques are not going to work at the best. That is why, in many cases, there are people who perform the technique very well if it's an emergency. So there is an accident, or they are with something huge, very important in front of them, bam, they can do it. Tomorrow they can't anymore because they don't have a real control. And what we want here is to achieve a real control. So we can, it's absolutely natural. If you do an energy technique to unblock your chakras, to align your chakras, to do a healing, or to get inspirations, to be in contact with your spirit guide, to get intuitions, all of these are based on three fundamental energy movements. One is your energy flows out constantly. The other is your energy flows in constantly. But how? Why? Which area it flows more or less? How can you control that? That is where we have to have as much knowledge as possible. And there's a third thing that you can perform, which is not energy going out or coming in. And sometimes the third thing happens spontaneously, which is energy moving inside your body spontaneously. But most of the time, energy does not flow very intensely inside of our bodies. And that's why we want to perform energy techniques in which we are controlling the energy flow. So having said that, when I give this structure of how the energy body works, you can absolutely observe what is already happening, what are the tendencies, the characteristics of your energy body, and how it normally performs and works. And therefore, you will be able to use what is already happening in your energy to boost what you want to do with the energy technique. But most importantly, you will be able to know when a technique is not appropriate. Because if you have taken, for example, the consciousness development program, you will see that there are some techniques, in this case, especially the Velo technique, VELO, for those of you who do not know what the technique is, but you will find information in the description, especially Velo technique, it has no side effects. And that's why Velo is so special. But all of the other techniques, you need to know when to apply, what for, where, and how. Because sometimes a technique that is okay may not be positive to be applied in specific conditions. How can we make a list of all the possible conditions? We can, but that doesn't teach much. It teaches you much more if you understand the mechanism that is behind. Then you are independent. Then you can control your energy and you can identify and interpret your perceptions, your sensations. And that's what I want to empower you to do. So not only giving you a few techniques, but teaching you what is behind, so that how far you can go, how much you can grow, depends on you exclusively. And again, let me repeat, if you want to have an opportunity to access the new course, Energy Mastery, plus other courses, with discount for November. It's only up to today, I'm sorry, but it was the last day and it is the day that I'm here with you, but I have to mention that. All you have to do is to sign up to my newsletter and you will automatically receive what you need, the specific links that you need to be able to register with a discount. Otherwise, you can register. They are available, but not with a discount. And having said that, I want to mention that if you are part of the consciousness development program, or if you are interested in developing all of these, we are organizing a retreat. It's a 6-day retreat with many different activities. It is out-of-body experience, but it is energy expansion, it is energy exploration, it is expanding one's mind. It's also enjoying going to different places, perceiving different energies, and also having a very deep immersion in which we, the INC instructors, I am going to be there, we will use our energy control to help you develop certain things. It's going to be very special. And the campus, our campus in Portugal, where it will be, is one of a kind. It's worth coming if you can. But again, information is going to those who are in our mailing list. So if you are not, make sure to be there because we have very limited spaces. As it goes for now, we probably can receive up to 25 people or so, which we by now have like 120, 130 people interested. So you keep in mind, that's all. And I will be communicating with you. Jean-Marc have already booked and I have a space reserved for you, Jean-Marc and for Nicole. Both who told me it's already booked, Nanci. Yes, okay. But I'm sending further details during this week. Going back to the energy mastery. So energy mastery, I will have to tell you, with all the experience that I have, there is very few things that we can do if we don't have a good energetic condition. And I'm not saying only those who master their energies, who control all of the different attributes of their energies, have a good energetic condition. No, sometimes different circumstances of life, including one's past life, can cause for one's energy to be more or less balanced. But I'll tell you something that comes from someone who have had many out-of-body experience, but mostly I have had many experiences in recognizing, sensing, and seeing the effects of others' energies on each other, on places, spirits, spiritual presences, how they influence a situation, a couple, a relationship, a family, a place. It is the line that separates the physical world and the non-physical world, the spirit world, is very diffuse. In some cases, we cannot even tell where it is. In other cases, it's more well established, but it's very thin. So everything that we do is based on energy. And sometimes, as I said, energies are in a proper condition spontaneously. But in some cases, no, in some cases, it is a situation in which one would have difficulties in life, difficulties inside of themselves because of this. So what about you who are here with me? How do you feel about your life, yourself? There are cases in which, and now I'm asking you, are there cases in which things apparently are okay or under control, nothing too bad is happening, but you are feeling more negative than you should? Or things get out of control? Keep an eye, because these things are related with the energetic dimension, and your energy body is here right now, here, there with you. My energy body is here, aligned with my body. Your energy body is there, aligned with your body. But the energy body is manifested. It exists in the energetic dimension. So we have the physical dimension of life, energetic dimension, and the non-physical dimension, which is where we go to when we have an astral travel. You have an out-of-body experience, you go here, but here, there is a huge reality. It's not a flat reality as the physical body, because right now, if you get an airplane and you want to visit Dubai, well, as long as you have flight available, you have the resources, time and money, conditions, you go. Not when you are in the non-physical dimension, in the spirit world, because there are many layers, and sometimes some people can travel in one layer, but they cannot access higher layers of that reality. All of these we get to explain deeply, deeply in the Consciousness Development Program. For those of you who are coming to the retreat in April, end of April it will be, please make sure you register in my newsletter so you receive information. For those of you who are coming, if you have the knowledge of the Consciousness Development Program, it allows you to go even further in your experience. But there are no prerequisites. We are going to open that opportunity to anyone who wants. But of course, we want to do advanced techniques and exercises and explore things and have that feeling of friendship, a good environment, and at the same time, a very strong, impactful personal development. So I hope you will be there to enjoy this with us. And in terms of your energy mastery, this is what is important to understand. Your energy body is the interface between the physical world and the spirit world. And the separation is thin. The more you understand all of the energetic components, the better. I am going to do a talk or record a video because I have had the opportunity here in Brazil to visit someone who does materializations. Materialization, know what it is? Materialize an object out of thin air. I was there, I saw it. Oh, yes, I have seen it before, and I have done it before. That is not what, to me, strikes like my curiosity. Of course, I'm a researcher, but what I want to understand is, how does it happen? What are the variables present here in this situation, in this moment, or with that person that allows that person to do it under control? And all of this is controlling energy. It's more impactful than you might think. I'm going to share that with you in another opportunity. For now, let's talk about controlling energy. What can be done? What sort of techniques exist? where the techniques are effective or not, and how can I help you. Please write question before your comment on what you want me to comment or what you want to ask me. I love having the opportunity to talk to you here. And I promise I'm going to see what's going on with my audio, so I fix this for next time and we can have a smoother talk. And Adrian, oops. Adrian, your work is a treasure for our time. Thank you, Adrian. We are in a moment that our world definitely can benefit from more energy control and trying to balance out things. It's amazing the phase we are going through, right? Is it important to know and find out what is causing the energy situation? Sometimes it's helpful so we avoid it to happen again. In practical terms, when it comes to addressing what is going on, addressing what that energetic situation is causing in your life, no, it's not important. We find what is happening, not why, what, and work with that. But sometimes throughout the process, when we are working on what is going on, we start getting hints of what is behind it, and sometimes has nothing to do with you. You imagine, guys, I'm going to bring something here that is a fact. We imagine somebody was so mad at you, any of you who are here with me, so I'm not answering to Nicole only, but you imagine that, and in that situation, what would happen is that those negative energies coming, or somebody comes and do a black magic for you. Some people, their energies are so dense, so negative, the type of feeling they have is so heavy, the feeling they have is so heavy that it can come to you and create thought forms. Do you know what thought form is? If you don't, you check. I have a video about thought form in my channel. But anyways, energies that are so closer to the physical dimension that they can be seen by someone with clairvoyance, or you, if you leave your body, you will see it creates almost like a form. And because of it, we have to be able to handle energy. And of course, I'm talking about black magic, a very negative energy, yes. But let's not talk about black magic. Let's talk a more regular situation. Let's talk about people who we had some misunderstanding. It was nothing so heavy, but it happened. It happens in life. You go to your work, you interact with the energy of many people. Unavoidably, some of that energy come to you. Are they going to affect you? Not necessarily, but you will be in contact with them. And if you know how to handle what's going on, if you know how to cleanse your energy, if you know how to interpret what's going on, that's a blessing. So the idea, Nicole, I am very pragmatic. The idea is, first of all, let's fix the situation. And if it is something related to you, whoever of you is observing something, then with time we find hints. But sometimes, as I was saying, something you picked on your way going to work, or someone mad at you that sent you a black magic thing. You cleanse it, it's gone. There's nothing to be inspecting there. But if it's something of a past life, if it's a personal tendency, or if it's some sort of energy that we have been holding on us for too long, or if it is some sort of spiritual presence that lingers around and brings a certain energetic information to you, then it will be helpful to know what is that, why, what causes it, but only after we address the situation, not before, because before it only confuses us. The matters are the matters. If one has pneumonia twice per year, let's get antibiotics and then let's see why we are predisposed, or that person is predisposed to pneumonia. And that's the idea. Good. Thank you, Nicole. It was a very interesting question. Esteban, hello. Nice to hear from you. I know people who involuntarily make things explode when they get mad, but can't control such amounts of energy at will. Is it possible to do so at will? For instance, using microkinesis or telekinesis? It is possible, but very rare. Something like I described, someone who materialized things, 1 in 1,000,000, it's really rare. Because we, human beings, all of us, we have so many different feelings, emotions. We have a thought that we want to do something, but there's another thought lingering behind and other influences. So it's not so easy to control. Most of the time, when people make things explode when they are mad, they are not, it's not them causing it. It's a different process. And the process is that such amount of energy is accumulated because the person is putting a lot of power in that type of energy coming out from their energy body, especially if they have more of this component of their energy body that's called ectoplasm. But everyone has ectoplasm. It's the same expression there of the Ghostbuster movies. They did some research there. But anyway, when this is the case, a lot of energy coming out with more ectoplasm, that naturally creates some reactions. So something falls, for example, for no reason. Sometimes a glass breaks. Sometimes something falls off the table, for example. Or there is a sound of a little explosion or a big explosion. Even though nothing explodes in the physical environment, sometimes the TV burns, sometimes the computer doesn't turn on in that specific moment, sometimes for good, but sometimes it will come back later. So this is more of an outburst of energy than they creating an explosion involuntarily because they wanted something to explode. No. Whatever is unsettled, less, how would I say, stable in terms of energy is what will happen. So that's why something explodes or something breaks or someone falls. There are sometimes consequences that are graver. But what is important here is, can one master energy and stop it? Absolutely. Because the point, why would one want to master that? Is it possible? Yes. Why? Will I want to do something like this? If I can grab this pen, I'm going to grab this pen. That's it. I can use the physical body to perform physical things. I need my mind and my energy to perform things that are spiritual, not physical. And it's a huge, sometimes, waste of energy in some of these phenomena because a lot of energy gets involved in it. And for no good reason in many cases. So what is behind someone's energy and what is going on when the entropy gets to a point that it causes a disruption in the physical environment? Because, okay, an object exploded. Maybe a watch stopped working. But what if somebody gets ill? What if it produces an accident? What if it hurts someone? And many times it does. So what we need is to be able to settle down our energy. The individual would have to learn how to put the energy body in a stable condition, because stable enough not to receive too much impact, external impact, but also not to produce this sort of phenomenon, because the majority of them are out of control. And it can be a big seat problem. There are people mentioning about that, Esteban, who have so much of this that they cannot drive a car. Some cases, they cannot even ride a car with someone else driving because they may generate accidents. And I have here Colin. Hello, Colin. Thank you for explaining on energy. It was very helpful and informative. Thank you for saying it. Regarding the OBE experience, would you say that the experience is more tangible than the physical plane? Sometimes, yes. At least equally tangible. Because when you are in an out-of-body experience, the environment where you are manifesting, it is as tangible as the physical reality. So in the same way here, I can hold this pen outside the body. I can touch the objects that are in the same frequency, in the same layer of the astral dimension, of the non-physical dimension. But sometimes you will be in a certain layer and you are seeing an object that is not fully in that same layer. Sometimes that object can be a little bit subtler, for example. And the interaction you have with that object is not as ostensive, as tangible, as if with those objects or people that you meet who are at the same level, the same frequency, the same plane. Because of this, Colin, I'm going now to expand a little beyond your question. Because of this, there are cases in which one is outside the body, and by being outside the body, there is some sort of reaction in which one can sense a presence. Let's say you would sense a presence. You would pick like a communication telepathically that a spirit guide is there giving you, or an entity intruding you, inspiring you for something negative, but you pick it. Sometimes you see, sometimes you don't. You only pick the idea. There are many complexities in how life operates in the non-physical dimension. Learning to leave the body, let me say that clearly. Learning to leave the body, to have conscious out-of-body experience, is not only a matter of having a technique to detach consciously. The most complex part is how to understand the mechanisms that operate, all the different rules that are part of the non-physical reality, of that spiritual reality in which we are immersed in, so that we can communicate properly, make sense of what we are seeing in that out-of-body experience, so that we can enjoy properly and take advantage of what we are experiencing. So in your case, think of that. Those details are very important. So your question was very interesting and very important. Thank you. Inner movement, and by the way, I'll bring back here, if you guys want to know everything about what exists in a non-physical plane, how evolution happens, who is and who is not, through Spirit Guide, Consciousness Development Program. Okay? That's the program that you need. So it's 38 hours throughout 1 year with mentoring, guidance from the instructor live, plus many recorded classes, many techniques, and taught in a way that is aimed at really teaching you, not only giving you a few techniques, teaching you, because things go in a progression that we know, we who, myself and others from the International Academy of Consciousness, who have been researching this, in my case, for 33 years. Wagner Legretti, who worked with me on developing this course, 38 years of experience in researching, having out-of-body experience, and teaching. So the strategy is not, let me give a technique so people enjoy the technique. No, let me give proper substantiated information and the techniques in a sequence that make the out-of-body experience possible to be controlled, understood in a safe way. That's what is in our mind. Anyways, I just wanted to give you the information of where you can access this if you want. Those of you who want to take advantage of the Black Friday that IAC is doing, you can access IAC's website directly, or you can check the comments here. Apologies. You can check the description of this video and you will have a link there. Okay? Great. In a moment, does consuming alcohol disrupt or affect your energy body? If so, how? Does sexual release orgasm affects or deplete your energy body? If so, how? Are there bodily cues to sense the energy body? Many questions in one, but I will answer them because they are interrelated, actually, these questions. The first thing is everything affects the energy body, everything. Even where you are now, if it's in your living room or in your bedroom, or if you are in a cafe, everything. Because the energy body is in contact with the energy of other people, physical and non-physical, spiritual presence, is in contact with your own energy and energy related to your past lives. It's present. The past is present inside of you in your energy, but your energy is also in contact with the whole historical development of the energy of the place where you are and people you are in connection or in contact with. So yes, the energy body can be affected by all of that. So if one drinks alcohol, is alcohol in itself a problem? No. As a moral thing? No. So you cannot drink alcohol because you will be intruded. No. But it's true that most people, it happens. Why? Because alcohol reduces one's filter, reduces one's capacity to control one's thoughts. That's why people feel more repressed and they feel happier or sadder, but in a way it's something coming from inside that otherwise it wouldn't. So it's very important that if one drinks, one should know the effect that's producing on their energy. Because for many people, it's just a matter of drinking a sip, and I'm not talking about alcoholic people only. The sensitive people, they drink a sip and they are more open to intrusion from some entities because their whole defense is reduced. If one knows how to control their energy body and works more properly with their energy body, then yes, it's possible to avoid that. It's possible to avoid to a certain extent, because if one drinks so much that cannot even speak normally or stand still, then of course the energy body is gone for a long time. In relation to the energy of Kundalini, sexual energies, it's more complex because sexual energy is part of life. There's nothing wrong with that. However, most unbalanced, non-physical presences, spiritual presences, entities, most spirits not so balanced, but most people here in this physical world are in the same category, not so balanced in terms of their energy. And when there's less balance, less energetic control, the energies of Kundalini will be exploited more. So this is just an energy, Kundalini sexual energy, same as energy from our heart, from our minds, our thoughts, our intentions, our love, but sex is part. Oh, but I'm not interested in sex. Yes, but you have a physical body. If you have a physical body, you have sexual energy, period. And that energy creates a very important impact in everything one does. The more the energy body is under control, is balanced, the less impact this will have, or impact this will have. This, I mean, the energies of Kundalini. But many people, they are drained energetically, or influenced energetically, or have very difficult nights of sleep in which they wake up and they are not fully rested. They are not fully refreshed and vibrant and optimistic and motivated because during the night there are some approach, some spirits getting close in which they create a connection with one's sexual energy. I'm not saying it's necessarily sex, but it's sexual energy. These two things are different. Those of you who want to go deeper, you take a look at my website, you take a look in my platform, and if you are in my newsletter, if you register to my newsletter, you are in my community that I keep by email, you received information about that. You can access the course, which is over there, 3 hours of very, very important discussions about that. So I hope I could clarify. Are there any bodily clues that sense the energy body? I do not know exactly what you mean, bodily cues that sense. There are, but why is it that it's not so easy for me to answer? Because this varies from person to person. In order to get information about this, what are the cues? It is, how does your energy body work? It's not the same for everyone. In the same way, the physical body is not the same for everyone. We have different types of metabolism. Some people, they feel cold very easily, others they never do. Some people, they are very active, others they are calmer. The physical body is different from one person to another. The energy body is much, much more varied. And it's critical that one learns. Is my energy body very permeable? Am I the type of person who has an energy body that is naturally with a greater self-defense? Does that operate with every consciousness around, or only with the negative ones, or only with the positive ones? Some people, they say, I have great self-defense. They shut out those more positive, the spirit guides, and end up welcoming those who apparently are friends but are not. So we need to learn to recognize that. It's a learning from all of us. Of course, there is so much that I have learned and developed, right? But in this case, we need to identify the characteristic of our energy body throughout a lot of work. I learned to identify mine very well, but you will learn to identify yours. All of you who are here with me and who are watching this video. Let me see if I find. Warren had a question, right, Warren? Question is scrambled. Yours, Warren. If you repeat part 1, 2, and 3, I will read it with pleasure. But I missed where was the part 1 of your question, Warren. Apologies for that. I have Megan. When I was a kid, I tried to burn holes through the clouds with my eyeballs. I'm wondering if that's possibly with energy mastery. Weird question, I know, but asking for my 8-year-old self. What I have learned, Megan, it's possible to do that with energy. Not so simple because there are other forces that are nature's forces. So we are operating like in any other thing. We are opening ways to create things. The stronger the energy, the nature force there, the harder it is for us. But, Indians, native Indians, they would have their rituals to make rain course. I don't know how to say that. What's the verb? But to make it rain. Why? That was some sort of energetic procedure that in their minds was like gods were sending energy. And in many cases was just beliefs, but in some cases that would produce some reactions into the natural environment system. But here in this case, what I think is very important that I place more attention to, and I had my staff, sometimes I would concentrate on, I want to move this object. Can I? So I was probably 6-year-old trying to move. Who told me I could move an object with my mind? Not a movie, because I lived in a very humble place with no TV, never saw anything like that. So, where did I take that from? So, what to me here is more important is, to what extent Megan, since she was a young child, a baby even, already knew there is a reality that is energetic and there is a spirit world, and it's possible to control our spiritual capacities and our energy. So to what extent Megan was reliving this reality inside of her? My point is, you probably already brought some knowledge with you. If you do not put it into practice, it may stay dormant. So embrace it. Find what you need in your case to take more and more control, because you can open a whole new reality in terms of how you see things and how you handle things. And that is very critical for us in our lives, right? Hello, Lisa. It's very nice to see you here. I have heard stories about people who were thrown by what they described as an entity. What makes people susceptible to this? That is a very large question with lots of discussions that we have to perform. Something in their energetic field, it's even more than their energy body. It's a whole context. What sort of spiritual presence is there with them? What sort of energy they produce from inside of themselves? What sort of energy flows to them and affect their energy body? And all of this is very critical. And I've seen things like this. I saw when we have one of those internet collections of small videos of strange things that happened. I saw once one, but I was on TV and I couldn't find again that video. I wanted so much to clip that part to show you guys. A lady that was crossing the street, and she was picked with a camera from the front camera of a building, a security camera. And she was crossing, I said wrong, she was just crossing the street, and then one can clearly see something doing this. And then she fell, but she was clearly, like something hit her head. In Brazil here, just last week, and I'm going to just remembered now that I want to download this so that I show you guys. A car was parked in the street, regular street. Car is parked. Nobody's inside that car. The car flips. So what caused that? So many different possibilities. But as I said, there is less of a line separating physical and non-physical than we would normally think. Please tell how to come to energetic loop created by us or sent to us on by someone else. How to come? I assume it's how to come out of an energetic loop created by ourselves or by someone else who sent that to us. There are different things that one may be able to do. But according to my research and my experience, there is one tool that is very important that is also applied, which is the Velo technique. It's an energetic technique, a method that I have developed for one to take control of one's energy. Because as I said in the beginning of this talk, energies are going out and coming in all the time. It's flowing, it's fluid, and it's interacting, lots of effects going on. We cannot control that much unless we understand how that is happening. But there is one procedure of our energy body that we can do with our energy body, that one procedure can organize so much our energy to a point that external influences and aspects that are negative energies that may be inside of us will no longer be reinforced and repeating. So velo is that technique. You look here in the channel, and I'm going to write here for you in case you never heard of it. So it's velo, it's an energy technique. Huge. Search for this, or even if you look in the description of this video, you will have there an information. What is velo, or a video? What's velo? There's a link there. And that is the technique that must be done. And sometimes, in some cases, there may be other strategies that may be needed as well. Uh-huh. I'm trying to pick here the questions. So, Adrian, has the IT studied the influence of sound on the energy body and on other bodies? Yes, sound, food, thoughts, energies around. But the fact is that nothing influences one's energy body as much as one's thought. The big situation here behind is that if you are in a place where lights are agreeable with you, it induces to some pleasant feeling, or with a sound that will affect your energy and yourself in a certain way, your thoughts, they align with a type of feeling or thought, but thought produce feeling, feeling produce thought, that will affect the energy body. So it can affect for worse, or it can be inducive of positive reactions. Nonetheless, we have studied that extensively. I have tested many different things, and of course, I live, this is life, and it is part of life. If there is one energetic aspect that is part of your energy body, or a blockage, or a spiritual presence that is influencing greatly in a not so good way, it doesn't matter what sound you put there and for how long, it's not going to fix it, because the problem is in the energy, and the sound is affecting the energy body. It will produce reactions in indirect ways. Those of you who took the Velo 101 course, you know that I explain well there. Sometimes there are techniques, and the majority of the techniques, actually, the majority, one would do a certain thing to try to indirectly produce a reaction that would later on affect the energy body. So that is the case with sounds, that's the case with visualizing something, or even with reading a beautiful message. That is different than a direct control of the energy. The direct control is, I want here to expand my energy body. You can do it independently of anything around, because then you have such a level of control that you can do it no matter where, no matter when. Plus, it's such a level of mastery that you take this with you for next life. The real mastery of energy, direct one, like the same way I can do this with my hand, the things that I can do with my energy body with the same level of control, this goes with me for a future life, for a future lifetime. So that's why we place so much value in direct techniques. But yes, sounds, and you know what? Sometimes scents. So we can use all of that, but it's just a mild resource to give us a hand. It's not a direct control. So when I talk here about mastery of energy, I mean to be able to produce whatever you want. You want to create greater self-defense, you do. You want to expand your chakras energies, you do. You want to make your aura brilliant so that wherever you go, people will notice you in a good way, in a proper way, will value you. So that is a direct control of your energy. I hope you could answer. Okay. I have Nicole. Does it get overwhelming to see and witness all the energy around of us? It does not, because it becomes as natural as getting subway in New York. It can be sometimes a bit busy, but once you are used to it, it's natural. Or going to a park, you go for a walk in the park, how many things one witness? People are passing by, some people are running, some people are sad, some people are happy, some people are with their partners, some people are alone. There are good energies, there are bad energies. On the contrary, I would say that the more one notices in a balanced way, that is in a healthy way, that is very important. But if one is developing sensitivity in a healthy and balanced way, I think that is favorable because that explains things. In many cases, it could be, for example, that you start remembering of something or having a certain feeling or a certain energy around. And because of that, it produces an energy reaction, or it even brings some energy close to you and you do not know why, you don't even notice. So being able to know what's going on, that is very important, very peaceful. It's almost like finding the explanation of certain situations and certain things. But when I say in a balanced way, that is very critical, because sometimes people do techniques, and that I mentioned that very clearly in my courses. And that's why also I mentioned the consciousness development program goes little by little, building up little by little people's sensitivity and self-defense at the same time. Because sometimes there are techniques that they can make the person too open without understanding what's behind. Is that negative? No, because if it's reality, it's reality. But that is sometimes a little unbalanced because one may lack the tools to deal with what one is noticing it. If we have the tools, if it's balanced, the problem with the energy body is never, ever that it is too sensitive. It's always that it is out of control. Our energy, the energy of any of us, your energy, flowing, interacting, having information, producing effects, and observing what waves of energies comes to you and what it produces on you, that is absolutely important. All of us should have that the whole time, because if that is a perception, what makes sense, or how it would make sense that we are living, trying to learn and grow and experience life and becoming the best being that we can, if we are not observing reality? Observing reality means having more acuity, more lucidity, more control, more spiritual evolution. But when that is not under control, that is the problem. So the problem is not how much we do with energies or how much we sense with energies. It's how much we have that under control. That is the key thing. Because even people who are sensitive, if they are sensitive, but they can make sense of what's going on and they can control it, that's very useful. But when it's not in this way, it can be very complex. It can be very, even sometimes dangerous. As I said, things can happen around, independently of one studying energy. My experience is that the more one understands about the energy body, the more the individual will have balance and control and be more stable. be healthier in terms of energy. Some people are afraid that they would study about energy and become too sensitive, too open. No, no, no. Mm-mm. If they, for a moment, feel they are so open, it's because they were already and were repressing it. But the energy work balances out all of these components. There is one thing that I share sometimes, and those of you who read my book, Vibrational State, you read it there. I used to be very afraid of some of the perceptions that I had when I was around perhaps 15 years old, 13, up to my 20s even, because I would sense things that I did not know what to do. The day that I learned some energy techniques and I understood how my energies operated, in a matter of 10 days, I was the bravest person you could imagine. Because whereas before I could not sleep with the lights off, once I understood energy and gained a little of control, but it was enough for me to know what was going on. Not knowing what was going on is the worst, always, in my opinion, and according to what I have been observing. But once I understood, I could be anywhere, even in a place that I was not familiar with the lights off, no fear, because it's almost like I understood what was involved in that reality. That's a very interesting question. Thank you. Guys, please remember to write question in front of the comment where you leave your questions. Okay, please. And Lisa here. I'm trying to spot your questions. You have to write questions in front. I see some here that sound like a question. I will read with you. There is a question mark at the end, right? So, how to control bad energy? Who is possible to infiltrate and contaminate your aura and energy field? Marius, that is the key thing. And it's not that it's possible to contaminate. What we do is that we change the characteristics of our energy body. So once you gain control of your energy minimally, you do not have to be expert. No, we go step by step. But once we just go a small step ahead, a small step, guys, nothing I'm discussing here is difficult. Leaving the body is not necessarily easy. I'm not going to lie. Some people try for many, many months until they achieve it. But learning to control your energy and sense your energy, that is not difficult at all. I have taught thousands of people with the consciousness development program where we go deeply in energy practice and out of body experience and things like this. It's a different content of what you have in the energy mastery course that I created. So the energy mastery is a complement. It's something that goes further, explains details that is not incorporated in the consciousness development program. But what I'm saying is, every time that I had a group that I would be delivering the consciousness development program, everyone, I can say that, 100%, would have results in terms of improving their energetic control, the quality of their energy, the cleanness of their energy field and their aura, their self-defense, everybody. The degree of control and improvement, it would vary from person to person, but it was a significant degree because it is absolutely within our power. But why is it that most who would teach energy techniques, they teach in a way that is all indirect control? You think of something to produce something in your energy, which can work, but does not teach you how to control your energy, does not teach you how it works, what is behind, what technique is necessary in a given condition. Because what to do if I'm feeling down, If I'm starting feeling nauseous, but it has nothing to do with something I ate? What to do if a given person keeps coming to my mind non-stop and I cannot take this person off my mind? What to do? It will be a slightly different procedure in each case, but if there's no understanding of the energy body and no understanding of what is behind each technique, there is no way. But once you understand how your energy body works, you absolutely can take the steps necessary to stop negative energies from infiltrating your energy body. But the question is, you stop 100% or 90% or 80% or 20%? In my opinion, if one would stop 10%, that is an advantage because it gives room for change and further growth. Because it's a true 10% improvement. But people are sometimes, I'm not talking about you, okay? But in general, people are in a way that they would like to do something and problem solved from 0 to 100, that's it. In terms of energy, sometimes it's possible depending on the sort of situation we are dealing with. But when it talks about self-development, we go, you learn, and you see something else you can learn, you see something else you can do, but that is delicious. It's an adventure. Controlling energy, mastering energy, it's absolutely within your capacity. Don't let anybody tell you different. We suffer a lot of brainwashing. And even when one of us goes study in a certain school or philosophy that deals with spiritual development and energetic development, there is behind something that tells you, that is more difficult than you can do now. Oh, you need more time. Oh, that's not safe. Or in a way, the whole explanation is not given. And in many cases, because the instructor does not know the whole explanation, only had a few experience, read a few books, the whole explanation is not there. We need to know what is involved in each situation to be able to explain. And of course, there is always something else to learn. That's why we are doing research. But to the point of today, does one know what is behind energetic process or not? It has to be clear like that. Okay? Thank you. Hi, Lilian, how are you doing? I'm taking the CDP. I love it, by the way. I'm glad, Lilian. Does the energy mastery training add more information? It adds a different type of information. If you are taking the CDP, I would complete the CDP and then do the energy mastery, because the energy mastery gives explanation. They are complementary. So it will help. But I feel like you are doing so many exercises in the CDP that it may be the case that you observe after a while. CDP, for those who are here not familiar, it's the Consciousness Development Program. But it may be the case that by the end, you feel like, I know exactly how my energy body works. And I know exactly what's the mechanism behind each technique and why it is difficult for me to sense my energy going out of my body when I want to emit, and why it's easy to sense the energy coming in, or vice versa, or why I cannot sense energy in my legs, but I can sense well in my hands. If all of this is clear once you complete the CDP, so maybe you don't need, because this is the type of thing that we are going to address. How the energy body works, which is, yes, it's taught in the CDP, but 30 minutes class or topic will become 2 hours, discussing 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. So it is different, the depth. But I would go with the CDP, conclude calmly, unless you want to take advantage of the promotional offer that ends today. But otherwise, you take your time. It will be there when you want. Okay? But for those of you who want to take advantage of this opportunity of the discounted price for the courses, It is the Consciousness Development Program, which is a program, it's major, it's big, but it's definitely worth it. It is the Energy Mastery that covers many things that nobody will teach you and will give you more power over your energy. Kundalini tells sometimes realities, situations, facts that happen in an energetic and spiritual level that many people do not discuss about. It's related with sexual energies that all of us we have. And I think those are in Velo 101. I'm talking about the Velo technique. So for those who want step-by-step procedure to do Velo, I have this Velo 101 course. I have a 20 minutes video also teaching here in the channel. Of course, what I cover in 3 hours and a half of the Velo 101 course is more than I can cover in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But the information is there for you. Only am making sure that I cite this to you here is because today is the last day for you to take advantage of our November offer. So it's IAC's Black Friday or Black November, and I decided to call it Bright November. Information coming, making our days brighter. But doesn't matter the terminology. That's what it is, okay? Hi, Gilbert. So nice to see you here. Long time we don't chat. And thank you for being here. Velo is working for me, Nancy. I'm very glad to know. It activated a few weeks ago and opened 2 energy centers. I'm glad, and I hope you feel better and better with that. Thank you for letting me know. Another question. Thank you for mentioning question. Can Velo help with ancestral healing? Let's say fears. Yes. Vows. Yes. In case there are intruders or lack of lucidity, to remember dreams at night, how to control negative energies that work during sleep. Velo is the first one step, but I will explain why, because it's not like Velo does miracle. No, there is a reason, there is a logic behind it. Because when you do Velo, you start changing this vulnerability, permeability of your energy body. That's one thing. Second, you start activating all your energy centers. And third, you remove contaminants. And some of these contaminants, they are old, they are from previous lives, they are from ancestors. There can be contaminants in one's energy that connect that one with spirits, with entities who will keep gravitating and bringing a certain sort of feeling, reaction, emotion, or situations to one's life. So because Velo acts almost like in a cellular level, indeed, but in the energetic component of ourselves, which in turn affects our physical cells. But it starts on a cellular level, energetic cellular level, because it starts almost like detaching, dismantling strong blocks, energy fields, preventing some entities from getting close, or at least preventing that they get close so easily. So all of this can be done, can happen. What is the challenge then, Nancy? Is one's will. Because when there are things that deep, sometimes the individual will start working with energy to try to remove whatever, the curse from previous lives or ancestors or any of these things that you mentioned. But when they start working on those things, automatically one will feel like down, lacking power to move energy. But that is a natural reaction, right? We are trying to remove something big, important. That is not that it's big because it's powerful, but it's big because to you that is big. So when you are doing that and working with deep stuff, you have to remain determined. You have to remind yourself of my words. You only fail if you give up. Otherwise, I promise you there is no way you can fail. I guarantee you, I know what I'm talking about. I've seen the effects inside the body, outside the body, and I have studied thousands of people. So you can do it. Don't let any negative energy put you down in a way that you let go of your self-confidence. Trust yourself. Trust the spirit guides who are helping you. But sometimes you are not sensing them because they are subtle. Remember, I explained there are many different layers in this spirit world, non-physical dimension. And sometimes the most positive spirits and consciousnesses who would help one would be in a subtler layer. So it's not so easy to sense them. It's easier to sense the negative ones. But they are there. Create the environment for them to be able to get closer. But trust, they are there. If they were not, probably none of you would be here. None of you would even consider, I want to let go of this negative stuff. I notice there are negative energies that probably are old from long time ago, from many lifetimes even, and I want to change it. If you think this, believe me, you have positive spirits supporting you, because otherwise it's very difficult. And so you do trust, go ahead, work with your energies, learn to master your energy. You can. There is no way that I can scream it louder. It is within your reach. You can do it. Don't let any brainwashing tell you that it's too dangerous, too big for you, that you will be too open, or no. This is misunderstanding of the dynamics of the non-physical world. And I told you here at the beginning that I have witnessed some materializations last week, and that coincidentally, some things have been going on, like a news that a car just flipped with nobody inside. I know there are very important consequences of energy, subtle energies and spirit, the spirit world and spiritual presences. But I am telling you, all of you, you can develop, you can bring harmony to your life. Not a perfect life, because we have flaws that we are learning. It's part of what we are doing here. But harmony, internal peace, you have the right to live with internal peace. You have the right to be who you are, to do here in this life what you came here to do. This is your right and your obligation to yourself, to spiritual evolution, to the world. Because if we fail in being more harmonious, in developing, in expressing who we are, what happens to the whole reality around? Others will find it harder. Okay? So, by all means, let's do it. I see people here talking to Warren. Only I cannot find Warren's message from the beginning. I see here something that I believe is also a question. You guys, please learn always to put question at the beginning, okay? Is it good to finish energy movement from up and down, like the velo movement, right? And into the earth field as grounding, either symbolic or as real, velo plus grounding? You can do as two separate things. So if you tell me, for example, Nictron, I love doing velo, and afterwards, sending energies to the ground as if I'm grounding. You can. But will this always be positive? Depends on where you are and what sort of spiritual presence is around. But yes, it's possible. There's nothing wrong. And then there's another angle. Is it necessary, Nancy? No. The most grounding exercise that exists And believe me, I have studied many results of many techniques. We are talking about grounding. The most grounding one is Velo. And I will reason with you why. Because Velo will bring you as a soul, as a spirit, consciousness, your essence, will bring this to a greater natural interaction with your physical body. So we are more present. You are present. You see things when you do a good value and your energy is getting the proper shape. And I know many of you who are watching me now will say, yes, I have had that a few times or many times when I do value. Because one of the things that happens almost as if we can see things going by like in a slow motion. It gives you time to think, to ponder, to feel, to react calmly, to be present, to act properly. You have strong energy. So value in itself is grounding. If you do it because you want to, you like, not necessarily it's bad, but I would analyze the conditions to say, yes, let's always do it. But please check why you feel you have to do it. Because I wonder if there is something that's not working properly. Because sometimes I see, I do not know if it's your case, but I want to say something here that is important. Sometimes I see people doing Velo as if they were doing passive meditation. Velo is not passive. Velo is active. Velo, and I just saw here a question from Warren that I will connect with what I am discussing here. Can I use imagination for Velo? You can use imagination as long as you are not only imagining. Because here we have a problem that is semantics. So I was saying here to Nictron, Velo is active, is a real energy action, energetic action that you do with your energy body. It's not only a mental thing, but you have to use your mind to control your energy body. In the same way I use my mind to do this. I decide, it's my mind, it's my awareness. You have to use your awareness to control and act using your energy body. So absolutely. So your mind is there. So some people say, can I use imagination? But then what is it that the person is calling imagination? Because for some, it's like imagining your power or trying to visualize the energies going up and down. But the visualization is just not even a secondary, tertiary resource just for them not to get distracted. But what they are doing while they are kind of visualizing it is pushing the energy using will, decision, use one's mind to focus on the energetic action. Energy body is more under our control than our physical body. Because if you want right now to jump and do a threefold jump in a loop like this, like sometimes we see people doing in gymnastics. With your physical body, probably you cannot. But with your energy body, you can do anything. So your energy body is under your control. And that's what I show you over there in the course, Energy Mastery. Your energy body is under your control the whole time. So if we do an imagination and we are doing Velo as a fuzzy thing that's more in our mind than in the energy body, it's possible, Nictron, that Velo is not working fully to you, not because you cannot do it, because maybe the approach is too passive. So we need to have in our minds, you need to have in your mind when you do Velo, I am moving my energy and I can control it. I may be sensing clearly, but remember, sensing is one thing, controlling is another. Perhaps I sense, perhaps I don't. Perhaps I sense slightly, or perhaps I sense clearly. What matters is I am focusing on doing. That's your focus. Because if you put your will there, you will move your energy. And that's how every energy technique works. Every. And that's the basis of what I explain in the course Energy Mastery. So put it into action. Make sure you are doing Velo correctly. And then if you want to add other components, you do. But if you feel you have to, I kind of would guess something is not working 100% in Velo, right? And 54M, Digital Radio, hello. Velo activated 2 weeks ago, and it gets stuck at my legs. You know what happens? When our energy starts moving more intensely, when you move your energy more intensely inside your body, there are parts where your energy may not be as flexible, as fluid. And because of it, you would feel less the waves passing by that area. And of course, sometimes there can be blockage. And that's why it is felt as less energy passing through or energy not passing through. But no energy blockage. Please, guys, bear this in mind. And I explain this in step by step on the Velo 101 course. Bear this in mind. No blockage prevents your energy from flowing 100%. It reduces the effect, the expansion, the activation, the loosening of your energy body in that area, but the energy passes through. But because the loosening is not so intense, you don't sense. That's why it's so important to know sensing is one thing, doing is another. But I'm glad that you felt the activation and that you had the opportunity to compare. My legs are stuck, are not as activated. Why would that be? There can be many different reasons. I do not want to speculate because some are even related to physical causes or non-physical causes or past lives or spiritual presence or only a matter of training a little bit more. But keep going, okay? And let me see if someone who didn't ask has any questions so I can answer. I see here another question from Esteban. I will answer this. Oh, and I see Astra Luna. I will answer Esteban and Astra Luna, and then I will stop for the day. Could the Energy Mastery course allow us to sense whether me or others have been either hexed, black magic, or if the energy body is cracked or any external energy is attached to it? Usually, when there is one of these, there is room for the others. So, will the Energy Mastery course give you this information? Indirectly, yes, because you gain more awareness, you gain more capacity to observe what's going on, what you can and cannot do, and why. So you have tools, but it's not part of the course to identify this. What you are saying here is part of the boot camp, which is a big program I do, that is the Energy Force Field Bootcamp. But that's only in person. I have to be there with you guys in person, but online. But it's not something that you can buy the course at any time. It has to be when it's launched in another version. And therefore, hopefully next year, somewhere next year. So that goes much deeper. But the tools learned there, they are going to help with all of this you are seeing here. Cracked energy body, Velo, or Vilu. Some people pronounce Vilu, it depends on the area of the world. I am Italian, so I say Velo, Vilu. So Velo, because once you fix this, the other things will get better and you get more clarity. In the Energy Mastery course, I give you exercises, guided exercises, to help you observe the aspects of energy control that I explained to you in that course. Okay? And then I have here a question from Astra. Hello, Astra. So the Velo did help keep me out of the hospital. But can the Velo be of any help if you have a full Kundalini? I just vibrate all the time. Is this the Kundalini burning up karma? What I'm going to try and interpret your words to understand what you are referring to. Velo kept me out of the hospital. Absolutely, it can. I'm not promising people will do Velo and will be healed from any illness. All of us, we get ill once in a while, and all of us will die of something. Let's be pragmatic. But there are many situations that are caused by unbalanced energies or emotions, too many emotions, and Velo, because it balances energy, it balances emotions. And it changes completely the way we manifest, the way we think. And when all of you who are here watching me, you have a phase in your life that is hard, you're feeling painful, do better. And if you cannot do a lot, do a little. Do what you can, but do it properly. It's active. Remember what I just said a while ago. It's an active technique. It's not only thinking about it, it's doing. Do what you can. It will help tremendously. But when you describe me here about Kundalini, and you say, I have a full Kundalini, I just vibrate all the time. This does not sound to me as something that is on the healthy side of energy activation. It sounds to me, by the way you are describing, that is out of control. It's way too much. And that creates a situation in which you may be more vulnerable to thoughts that are around, spirits that are around, even your own fragilities, vulnerabilities. You can balance that out. Even if it's, and I'm not saying Kundalini is negative, but there is a healthy, natural manifestation and one that when it's increased, if it's keeping the person too open. Open is good, too open is not good. And I recommend perhaps you watch the course Kundalini. Kundalini, the power and perils of sexual energy. So that you understand what could be behind it and how much of it you can use in your favor and how much of it you perhaps want to balance out. Okay? Astra, that is very important, very important. Thank you so much, all of you guys. Continuing from Astra, I have a lot of power flowing through my body, of course. So should I be concerned with Velo escalating the Kundalini process? Velo will calm down because Velo will balance out all your chakras in a very healthy way. There is no way Velo causes any imbalance, like escalating the Kundalini process. On the contrary, it will smooth it out. It feels like I'm plugged into a cosmic light socket. It's trashing my electronics. You see, there are so many things going on around. Astra, you can absolutely use your power. You are not going to let go of your sensitivity, of your power, of the possibilities you have to explore the spirit world by balancing out your energy through Velo and through a proper use of this Kundalini energy. And perhaps you are doing Velo, you are going to the point of keeping yourself more or less balanced, but not going to the point where you feel that serenity, internal serenity, like everything is low down. You have the power to think. Nothing can penetrate you. You are stable. You have such an inner peace that cannot be mixed or confused by any other experience in life. You probably have not got to that because probably your Velo gets a little bit under that point, because it interferes, it clashes with this Kundalini process you are doing. So what I would say, with the best of my knowledge, put all of this under your control. It's not going to reduce your power. It's going to put your power under your control, because right now, if it's a power or not, I don't know. You have probably an answer, but that answer may be 100% accurate or not 100% accurate. There are many complexities to be studied. Absolutely within your control to decide what you want to do. Without information, you cannot even decide what you want to do and what is a balanced energy, balanced Kundalini energy. I don't hear under control, harmonious, balanced energy behind what you described. Okay? Good, guys. So I guess that's it. We leave more questions for our next session. Again, if you are not in my newsletter, if you are not part of my email community, please join. I will always send you articles, gifts, promotions, offers that are exclusively for those who are there. And that's what you are going to access if you go there now. Check your emails. If you have received emails from myself, check there. You will have there these possibilities of using these promotions if you want to. Okay? Thank you so much to all of you who are present, to your questions. And your questions bring so much light and depth. It complements so perfectly our moment here. I really want to thank you. A big hug to you, as we say in Brazil, a big hug. You embraced multidimensionally all of your bodies. Keep working, keep growing so that you can honor your truths, live your life with your full capacity. Okay? Goodbye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.